The next test level is integration testing. So integration testing tests interfaces between components. So as we understood in unit testing, unit was the smallest testable entity of any software, which was tested individually, which was isolated from other components of the software and was tested individually. Whereas integration testing tests the interfaces between different components. So in unit testing, whatever units, whatever independent entities were being developed by the developers, in integration testing, those entities are integrated and the interface between those components is being tested in integration testing. So integration can be, like by integrating multiple classes, or by integrating just two complex classes, and then testing how the integration works between those two classes. So it depends. I mean, there are a lot of different ways to do integration testing. So the core idea of integration testing is to test the interface when you integrate the smaller units into a bigger chunk. In integration testing, testers concentrate only on the integration. So when integration testing starts, testers concentrate only on the integration part. They do not worry much about the functionality of the individual components or units. So testers should build integration tests in order to order required for the most efficient integration testing. So it's the responsibility of testers to build a good set of integration test cases to test the interfaces between different components that are developed by the developers. And then integration testing tests interactions to different parts of the system. So integration testing can be done between two units of the software, or once you get the whole software being developed, then the core responsibility of a tester is to test the integration of that whole software with different entities of a computer or of a server, like file system or system hardware, or interaction with operating systems. So suppose your software is built for Windows OS. It also supports Linux OS. So testers test how the software integrates with Unix OS, Linux OS, or Windows operating system. So you test the interface with the system hardware, with the operating system, with the file system. So Linux has different file system, Windows has different file system. The hardware for Linux is different, and the hardware for Windows OS is different. So all these interactions are being tested in integration testing by the testers. So tester needs to design proper integration test cases based on where on what platforms, what OS your software is supported, so that you have best coverage for the integration tests that you are doing for your software. Now we'll understand the levels of integration testing. So there may be more than one level of integration testing. So it's not like integration testing has just one level and testers just do integration testing to test the software with hardware, with file system. So there can be different levels of integration testing. So in general, the major levels of integration testing is the component integration testing and system integration testing. So component integration testing is more of when developers integrate smaller units into one and test the integration, test the integrated component as a one, and system integration testing is more of when testers test when how the software is being integrated with other entities like OS or file system. So in component integration testing, this test interactions between software components. So the software is built of smaller chunks or smaller units or smaller components. So component integration testing tests the interface between those when those smaller chunks are integrated into and see how the integration works or how the flow is from one entity to other. Then component integration testing is done after component or unit testing is finished. So once unit testing is done, then those smaller units are being integrated into one component, and that's when component integration testing is done. Then system integration testing tests the interactions between different systems. Okay, so after unit testing, component integration testing is done, and once component integration testing is done and you have the software available as a build which can be installed on a system, system integration testing comes into picture. So system integration testing tests the interactions between different systems. So it is done mostly after system testing is complete. So system integration testing is done to identify cross-platform issues which may arise after integrating the system to other system. So this is the system integration testing is usually done to make sure if there are any issues in cross-platform. So suppose the software that is being developed supports Microsoft SQL as a database. It also supports DB2, Oracle. So system integration testing will integrate your software with different databases and verify if whether there are any cross-platform issues when you integrate your software with different databases. So system integration testing tests any cross-platform issues which could arise when you integrate the system with other systems. Then we'll understand different approaches of integration testing. So usually there are two approaches. The first approach is Big Bang integration testing, and the second one is incremental integration testing. And incremental integration testing has three different approaches: top down, bottom up, and functional incremental. So we'll cover these approaches one by one. So Big Bang integration testing integrates all the components or systems simultaneously. So they are not done by like one after the other. It's not like that in Big Bang integration testing. So all the components are integrated at once, and the system is tested as a whole rather than taking one piece of unit then integrating with the supported unit and then again. So no top down or bottom up approach. In Big Bang, all the systems or the components are integrated at one and everything is tested as whole. Advantage of Big Bang approach is that everything is finished before integration testing starts. So in order to do Big Bang integration testing, everything has to be finished. Okay, unless and until everything is finished, you cannot integrate the whole system into a whole, and you cannot do Big Bang integration testing, and you cannot test the system as a whole. So the advantage is, since everything has to be completed, every module, every unit has to be completed, so stubs and drivers are not required if you are following Big Bang integration testing approach. The disadvantage of Big Bang integration testing is that since everything is integrated simultaneously and all at once, it is very difficult. If there are failures in the software, in the integrated software, it is very difficult to trace the root cause, which component or which unit is failing or which unit is causing the failure of the integrated system. So due to this late integration, it is very difficult to trace any failures in the integrated software if Big Bang integration testing approach is followed. Then in incremental integration testing, all programs are integrated one by one and testing is done after every step. So incremental integration testing follows a different approach, completely opposite approach as it was followed for the Big Bang. So in incremental testing, you take one unit, integrate it with the units that are that rely on this component. So all programs are integrated one by one, and once you have a unit, you integrate with it with other unit, then you test the integration between those two units and see how the communication is going between those two units and whether the integration between two units is proper and whatever the expected outcome should be from those integrated module is there or not. If there are any defects, they are fixed then and there rather than moving ahead with the integration with other modules. So in incremental integration, it is done one by one. An advantage is that defects are found early and easy to find root cause for these defects. So because you integrate one by one, so it's very easy to find the defect. So suppose you have integrated one module with the second one, and if there is defect in this integration, you are very sure that yeah, there is some defect between between the communication of these two units. Whereas in Big Bang approach, you have suppose 100 components being developed, 100 units being developed, and all being integrated at once. It's very difficult to find out the root cause of the failure that will happen after all those 100 units are integrated. So in incremental integration, since you integrate one unit with other, it's very easy to find the root cause because you will be able to figure out that the failure is happening because of integration of the new unit. So once two units are integrated, if you are integrating third unit with that, then and after integrating third unit, you find some failure, then you know that it is because of the third unit. Either the third unit has some issues or issue with the integrating existing integrating unit. So it's very easy to find the root cause of those defects if you're following incremental integration testing. Then the disadvantage of incremental integration testing is that it is very time consuming because stubs and drivers are required in it. So if you are following incremental integration testing, it is not necessary that everything or all the units have to be developed all at once before you can do integration. If your root level, say your UI, your login screen is integrated, then you can replace the underlying units by stubs and start the testing of the login module. So the disadvantage is that it is time consuming because it requires stubs and drivers, and developer has to spend some time writing those stubs and drivers. Now let's go ahead with the top-down approach. So in top-down approach, testing takes place from top to bottom. So for example, Testing follows the control flow or architectural structure. So suppose you have an e-commerce website. So it will start, which has a login module, which has a graphical user interface or main menu. So testing will start from that login screen. Okay, that's the top-down approach from the first screen, that is the login screen. So top-down approach, the first module to test will be the login screen, and then you follow the architectural structure below that module. So login screen, and then below that your authentication and authorization mechanism being tested, and then once user logs in, add to cart, remove cart, and all those functionalities, then payment gateway, so something like that. So in top down approach, you follow the control flow or the architectural structure. The top-down approach utilizes stubs to replace the unfinished components. So in top-down approach, you have the top level component ready, and the underlying component may be ready or may not be ready. So whichever components are ready are utilized, and whichever are not ready are replaced by stubs, and the top level module is being tested. And as soon as the lower level modules are being developed, they are integrated, and the other lower level modules are replaced by stubs to test the second level. Then top level component of the hierarchy is tested first. With the lower unfinished components, it integrates with being replaced by stubs. So the lower unfinished components in the top down approach are replaced by stubs. Testing continues down the hierarchy by replacing the stubs with code. So suppose the top level hierarchy in the top level module is ready. Second level modules were not ready. They were replaced by stubs to test the level 1. As soon as second level modules are ready, then they are integrated with top level module, and any underlying modules which are not ready after the second level module are replaced by stub. So it top down approach just goes down that path and follows the control flow or architectural structure, and keeps on replacing whichever lower components are not ready by stubs, and keep on testing. Then bottom up approach is the opposite of top down approach. It takes place from the bottom of the control flow, and it moves upwards. So the lowest level components are tested first. So in bottom up approach, it's completely opposite to top level. In the lowest level components are tested first, and then missing components at the top of those lowest levels are substituted with the drivers. And as soon as the code for other modules get ready, these drivers are replaced with the actual code. So as soon as the top level code in bottom up approach is ready, it is replaced with the actual code, and any module at the top of that actual code is again a driver is being developed for that, and the testing continues until everything is integrated and you reach at the top level of the architectural design, that is graphical user interface, if you consider the e-commerce website.